Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing something very interesting that I believe is going to help a lot of marriages out there. Today I'm going to be talking about habits of healthy and happy marriages. These habits are key because habits are things you do without thinking, things that are becoming a part and parcel of your life. And so there are habits that thriving marriages, happy marriages imbibe that is helping them to sustain a healthy and a happy marriage. So when you see happy marriages out there, just know that they're putting in, some measure of work, to make that marriage glorious, to give it, a facelift, to make it, attractive to passers-by. And so you cannot just, let anything go in your relationship, in your marriage, and expect that it's going to turn out well. So today we're going to be focusing on, habits. I think are very, very important, but they are not limited to these few I want to share with us. But I believe that these ones are key that will help your marriage. These habits will help your marriage thrive. So it's important to know what keeps a relationship healthy and happy, so you can be conscious of cultivating them in your own marriage. Couples should cultivate good habits. The number one habit I want to talk about today is communication. Communication is very, very key in any home, in any family, in any home where partners are not in talking terms, where they are not communicating, where they are bottling up things and not opening up to one another. That marriage is not going to thrive, it's not going to be a happy one, and it's not going to be a healthy marriage. So for marriages that are healthy and happy, they communicate, they talk a lot. They talk a lot. They talk to each other about what is working there. Because come to think of it, no human being is a mind reader. You may be hurting someone, your partner is not even aware. It's very, very possible. Why? Because they cannot read your mind, and what is troubling you is not written on the forehead. And so until you say something or talk to them about what it is, until you open up to your partner, they may never know that you're dealing with things. So communication is very, very key. And at times your partner could do something, that offended you, and they're not even aware, they're not conscious, of that act, and that means that it will be important for you to now communicate and let them know that such and such, you did at so time offended me or angered me or hurt me or whatever. So communication is very, very key. If you look at it, in basically everything you have to communicate. When you talk about your children, you have to communicate. Talk about the kind of school you want them to attend and all that. Even the food you eat at home, you have to communicate. You have to ask your partner what do you want to, have for dinner or for lunch or for breakfast. You communicate. Communication is key. Any marriage where communication is taken out will die a slow death. So communication is number one. If you're going to have a healthy and a happy marriage, you must learn to communicate and communicate effectively. Don't communicate in a way that puts your partner down. Don't communicate in a way that makes your partner feel less than a human being. Make your husband feel less than a man, or your wife feel less than a woman. When you're communicating, stop the usual act of comparison. No two persons are the same. No two marriages are the same. So you must study your marriage, know what works for your marriage and what doesn't work. And one of those things that every marriage must imbibe that works for all marriages is effective communication. So you must learn to communicate. That's number one. The number two habit you need to cultivate to have a happy and healthy marriage is to show affection. Learn to show affection to your partner. See, we all accept and love or receive love in different ways, and that's why you must learn your partner's love language. There's such a thing as your partner's love language. See, your partner's love language could be that of quality time, and yes, you are barely at home. And you're busy buying gifts and all that, and they're not interested in your gifts, and they're wondering what is I'm doing wrong. I'm trying for this one, I'm trying for this one, I'm always buying gifts for them, but they are never appreciating it. That's because you do not understand their love language. So you must understand your partner's love language. For some, it could be gifts. So for some, it could be touch. For some, it may just be words of affirmation that you affirm them every now and then. And for some, it's quality time that you spend with them. That it doesn't matter how much you bring home or how much you're giving to them, if you are not spending quality time with them, they don't see it as an act of God. record is as my husband loves me or my wife loves me. So you need to understand your partner's love language so you can show affection effectively. This is very, very important. Number 3 is sex. Never use sex as a weapon in your relationship. Any marriage that is thriving and will continue to thrive, sex must not be used as a weapon, because your body does not belong to you in the first place. Your body belongs to your partner, and so you mustn't use sex as a weapon to fight back whenever there's a misunderstanding between you and your spouse. You must not deny your husband or your wife of sex. This is very, very key for every happy marriage, every healthy marriage. Sex is an ongoing thing in that relationship. Nobody retires from it. Nobody resigns from it. If your marriage will continue to be referred to as a healthy one and a happy one, you cannot take sex away. So it's important that we understand, never use sex as a weapon. That's why I started by saying, learn to communicate. If there's an issue, talk about it. Never use sex as a weapon in your marriage relationship. Let me tell you what will happen. By the time you start denying your partner of sex and using sex as a weapon in your relationship, you start driving them further and further away into the hands of strange men and strange women. That's what happens, because there's no vacuum in life. If they can't get it from you, Satan will present an option, somebody that will not say no, and before you know it, all kinds of things will happen in that room. Either your partner will now bring infection, diseases and all that into the family and wreck the entire family. So it's important for you to know that sex must not be used as a weapon in any marriage that is happy and thriving. Sex is an ongoing thing. Sex is something that is happening there. The partners involved do not deny each other of sex. This is important. Now, the 4th thing that happy and healthy marriages do is that they appreciate one another. Learn to appreciate your partner. It's very, very key. Nobody rejects the appreciation. Learn to appreciate one another and appreciate one another well from time to time. Be consciously, maybe on your wife's birthday or husband's birthday, consciously appreciate them. Consciously appreciate them. From time to time, they don't even have to wait for their birthday to do that, because there's something it does to everybody. There's a saying that if you appreciate somebody for what he has done, he will do more. So if you want your partner, to do more of, some of the good things they are doing, for you, then you have to appreciate them consciously, constantly appreciate them for it, and you see they will go out of their way to make sure that they make you happy, because they enjoy the feedback they are getting by way of appreciation. So it's important that we appreciate one another, appreciate your spouse, even thank them, appreciate them for choosing. I miss all the men and women, in the world that they have come across before they settle down and got married. Why is it that you are not picked? It's just by the grace of God, so you don't have to take it for granted. Appreciate them for picking you, choosing you as their life partner to journey in life together with them. You need to appreciate them. Appreciate them for the good things they are doing for you, for how they are taking care, of you and all that. No matter how little their contribution is, appreciate them. And when you do, they will escalate whatever it is they do. They will do more of it. Now, number 5, reconcile after every argument. This is important. Reconcile after every argument. Don't bottle up offense. Jesus told us, he said, offenses must come. Your husband is not an angel, your wife is not an angel. They must offend you. It's either you are stepping on their toes or they are stepping on your toes. Understand that these things are bound to happen, offenses are bound to take place, because you are not married to an angel, you are not married to a robot, you are married to human beings. And so, whenever offense or things that get you angry, whenever these things happen, don't bottle up, reconcile. See, when it comes to marriage and having a healthy marriage, what you should have at back, your mindset, what you should have at back of your mind every time isn't about who is right, because that's what we focus on most times. We tend to think in terms of who is right, and the one right is one that offended me, or she's one that offended me, and the one that is right. No, if you're going to have a healthy marriage, it's not about who is right, it's about the right thing to do, because at that time, when you're not in talking terms with your spouse, you have opened up your door, the door of your family, to demonic spirits, to invade. The Bible says that where there is strife, there is confusion and every evil work, meaning that Satan can do anything even at that point. There's an open door, there's a crack on the wall for the enemy to come in, to carry out his activities. This is why it is dangerous. So forget about who is right. The most important thing is salvaging the home, salvaging the spiritual atmosphere of the family at that point in time, and then the most important thing to do is to take the necessary step for reconciliation. Don't let it fester. The Bible says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So it's good to be angry when somebody does something wrong to you, but the Bible says, be angry but do what? Sin not. Don't wait till tomorrow. Handle today's offense today. Tomorrow has its own offense that will come. So when tomorrow comes, you handle it when it comes. Don't let it wait. Don't say, no, I'm going to let her feel, the hot of what she has done. I want to let her feel the pain for the next 2 weeks, for the next 1 month. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to talk to her. I'm going to keep my lips. These things are not of God. You are playing into the hands of the devil. These are weapons that the enemy uses. These are weapons he uses when he wants to penetrate a family and is not able. He uses a weapon of strife. He has used it over and over and over again. And once that happens, once the partners buy into it and the demonic idea of offense, what happens is that the enemy comes in to invade that home, and all kinds of things begin to happen, begin to go haywire physically. Don't forget that the spiritual controls the physical, and when these things begins to happen, we begin to wonder what's happening. The first thing to check is the spiritual atmosphere. What is the spiritual atmosphere like in your family, in your home? And if there's any open door you're going to the enemy, go run quickly and go and shut that door before you can take authority over the enemy to get out of your home. So this is key. This is one of the habits of happy and healthy marriages. That is, they reconcile after every argument. They don't allow it to linger. Don't allow any argument to lead to a crisis. Because when an argument is prolonged, it becomes a crisis. And before you know what is happening, the two people involved are contemplating divorce. Those who have landed in the divorce court, they didn't plan to. It just started as a minor argument and they didn't let go. They didn't let go. They started keeping malice and before you know what was happening, they got tired of each other. They drained their love bank, and voila, they are at the court contemplating divorce, asking the judge to divorce them. But that will be a portion in the name of Jesus. As you begin to invite these habits that I'm sharing now, the Lord help you in the name of Jesus Christ. Number 7 thing that you have to do is that you must learn to bond emotionally. There should be moments of laughter in your family. It shouldn't be all serious, looking serious every now and then in your home. No, there should be moments you intentionally crack jokes and you and a partner sharing a joke and you laugh. Because laughter is medicine. And this is one of the major ways you bond emotionally. Yes, you crack jokes, say things that make both of you laugh and you laugh. It's important. So if you have to bond emotionally, you must learn to laugh. Don't be all serious every now and then, 24/7, 24 hours of the day, looking serious all around the house with no smiles on your face, looking very heavy and all that. No. If you are like that, your marriage is not going to last. It's not going to last. You're not going to bond emotionally with your spouse. There must be moments of laughter. Intentionally crack jokes. Say things that will make your partner laugh. Because laughter is medicine. And the more laughter you have in your home, the more bonded you're going to become with your spouse. This is key. Begin today to practice this, and I tell you, you'll be the better for it. In case you have not yet subscribed to this channel up to this point, please, I would like you to subscribe to this channel, like, comment. If you have any questions, I would like you to leave it in the comment section. Or if you have other things that can be added to the list I'm sharing with us here now, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will be there to respond to your comments. The number 8 habit I would like you to cultivate: see a future together. Do you see a future together with your spouse? This is important. If you don't see a future together with your spouse, your marriage will not last. It will not be a happy one. Meaning that somebody already who has occupied the space that your spouse is supposed to occupy in your heart. You must see a future together. Because when you see a future together, with your spouse, do you see yourself and your spouse, growing to a very old age together, staying married together? If you do not see such a future, something is wrong. You cannot have a happy home. You cannot have a healthy marriage. You will see a future together. Because when you see a future together, what will happen is that you will do everything within your ability to make sure that your marriage succeeds, to make sure that your marriage thrives. Why? Because you can't imagine yourself without your spouse in your future. You see a future together. So it's important. Begin now to use your imagination. Begin to see your partner playing a very important role in your future, together. Begin to see the part, the role, they will play in the future. See the future together with your spouse. And I tell you, as you begin to do this, it will help you to go the extra mile, go through thick and thin to ensure that your marriage succeeds. So this is an important habit that you need to start cultivating today. If you have not been seeing your partner in the future, start seeing them today. And the way you respond to what they do, the way you see them, I tell you, will automatically change. You give them better treatment if you see a future together with them. Number 9, balance housework. Husbands, please assist your wife. Assist one another. Assist one another. When it comes to housework, at times it can be overwhelming, especially when the woman, is already doing something to bring money, into the family. It can be overwhelming. So, whichever way you can assist one another to elevate this load, this house chores, please assist one another, so that the issue of house chores will not be a big thing to be talking about in your home, especially when your children are still young, when your children are small and you have to cater for all of them, you have to bathe them, you have to dress them up and all that. It should be an overwhelming task for one person, to do. So please, let's learn helping hands to each other. So learn helping hands to your partner in this area. Balance housework. If you do, there's no how your partner will not feel loved when you are taking stress away from them. There's no way they will not feel loved. Imagine a husband who wakes up, in the morning and takes out the trash, goes ahead to prepare a meal just for the wife to rest for some time. Imagine how happy that wife is going to be. I've seen husbands who help their wives to wash. Yes, it's not, you can't do anything for your wife. It's your wife for crying out loud. You can't do anything for your husband. It's your wife for crying out loud. Nobody else is over. You can help them the best way you can. If you can cook. The one that does not know how to cook should not be the one that can cook. These things are key. These things are important. Balance housework so that nobody feels choked by the housework, by the house chores in the house. So if you do this, it will bond you together and it will make you have a healthy and a happy marriage. The last but not the least, number 10, is to give each other some personal space. Yes. It's important that we give each other some personal space. There's no wife or husband that will stay close to you 24 hours. Just by your side 24 hours. You as a man, you go out to work. Your wife probably goes out to work or whatever. Some persons go on retreat, to spend some time maybe in the camp to go and pray or whatever. There should be moments where you are alone as a husband or as a wife. So you can think, so you can spend time with God. There's such moments. These things are very, very key. They are very, very important. In as much as we should spend time together, we should give each other some space to be alone with ourselves, alone with our God, spend time alone with our God. We need to understand these things. At times, your husband will say he's going to come to spend the week. Should you say no? You can't go. You can't leave me. No, you can't do that. If you do that, you'll be frustrating him. Or should the wife say, I want to spend like 3 days. 3 days away. I want to spend go to camp and spend some time, with God. Should you ever say no? No, you shouldn't say no, because these are not things you do every day. But once in a while, you have to take our time to be alone, so we can think, so we can ponder. It's important because we are human beings, and these things will come out better, than we are. It's important that we keep some space, and then, but please learn to balance it. I'm not talking about abandoning your wife for a month, 2 months without any mutual agreement. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about some little spaces, here and there, where we just want to have some time to ponder, to think over things, and understand, have some time, with God alone, and you don't want your partner, you just want to be alone by yourself. There are moments like that in everybody's life. And so when that moment comes, please allow your partner to be alone, and after which, please come back together again as husband and wife. See, there has to be a balance between the two, spending time together, quality time together, and separating yourselves to be alone. There has to be a balance between the two. It's a combination of the two that will give you a happy and a healthy home. Because if you don't allow moments of being away and alone, with each other, you find out that there will be this feeling of frustration. Yes, there will be this feeling of frustration and resentment, that you'll be having towards your spouse. And in order to avoid that, it's important that we should be able to give our partner some space when they ask for it. Very, 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 very key. These things are key. And so these are the greetings I feel I should share with us today on the habits of happy and healthy marriages. Please, I want you to begin to implement this, begin to cultivate these things. Like I told us, habits are things we do without thinking. So it's not, if you have not yet started doing any of these things I listed here, it's not going to happen overnight. It's something you will consciously do, from the onset, and over time, it becomes a part and parcel of you. Research has proven that anything you do consistently for 21 to 30 days becomes a habit. So why not start practicing these things? Put them on your to-do list, on a daily basis. Start implementing and putting them to work. And by the time you are coming to the 21st day or the 30th day, these things will become a habit for you. So this is where we draw the curtain today. In case you have not yet subscribed to my channel, you have not liked or commented, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, put your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be there to answer your questions. I'll see you in my next video. God bless you.